So low-level plyometric that Haley's doing is pogos, right, which is jumping. Because we're working in the strength range for you, we're working on the reps at 8. So we're not going to go completely hypertrophy rep range like 12, 15 with the weight. We are going to work on 8. So with this, give me 10 because we're going to work our way up. Get 10 with this, then we'll do another set of 10 with the 45. And then realistically for 8, I want you at 225. I want you at 225 for 8. I know you can do more, but I want to see what your movement patterns look like. 3 by 8 for 225 with us doing pogos, 2 in between. So right now, warm up with this for 10, and then we'll go ahead and add 45 on, and then we'll get into another 45, see what a set of 1 looks like for the 225, and then we'll get into our working set for you.
I'm not gonna do the same thing again.
So let's talk warm-ups and working sets. Unless you're like a professional lifter, and this is what you do for a living, you only have so much time in the gym. So a lot of people talk about like, okay, how do I warm up? How do I activate before I get into the warm-up? The easiest and the simplest answer is do the exercise that you're preparing for with a lighter weight. So if you guys noticed in the beginning, Haley started with 25s on each side, then she went to 45s on each side. Now she's at 225. Now, she's only gonna do 1 because I wanna see what she feels like to see if we stay at the 225 for the 3 by 8 for her working sets, or if we drop down to a 185 for 3 by 8 for her working sets. So what is the science behind that? If Haley wasn't pairing this with an athletic movement and a plyometric movement, I would have her stay around 80 to 85% of her 1 rep max. But she is pairing this with a low-level plyometric, which means that exerts energy as well. So I don't want to put so much intensity and stimulus on the bar when she's doing something else that she wouldn't do normally just by itself. So she's going to stay around 70% to 75% of her 1 rep max for what her percentages of how much intensity or weight is on the bar. So we're going to see what 1 looks like for her and see how she feels and get feedback before we figure out how much weight we're going to put on the bar. Push against and climb. Yeah, push against and then climb. There it is. Work your way up. Good position before you even start. Good control because you want to get stronger, so control this all the way through the entire range of motion. Control it, control it, control it. Squeeze on the way up. Beautiful. Back down. We're good. But how'd the weight feel?
It felt like I was using hands.
Okay, so we'll go down to 185 because remember for you, yes, we are building strength, but the big thing that you said is that you want to build strength without incorporating other muscle groups outside of the one that we're working on. So if you're incorporating your hamstrings to get to the 225 and we haven't gotten to the working sets yet, I'd rather have you take back down to 185 so that way we can just make sure that this full intensity and the weight of the bar is in the glutes only, and then we'll work our way up slowly from there. So I'll drop it down to 185 for you. So low-level plyometric that Haley's doing is pogos, right, which is jumping. Even though hip thrust, she looks like she's horizontal, right, it still is hip extension, and hip extension is aiding us in our jumping up and down. So that's what plyometric we're loading here. It's just going to be pogos. We're just working on the technique and the ability to pair our hands with our foot contact and our ground striking. So she's going to go for about 10 seconds, and this is something that she would do after the compound lift, and this is the form of complex training. So let's see it. Pair them together. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's time. So second compound lift for Haley, we're getting into a single leg landmine RDL. This is a single leg exercise or a unilateral exercise, which is one side of your body part. This is gonna be her lower body. Think of this as almost like a single leg sumo. We're gonna work on her glute and hip extension as well with this. And once again, this is the compound lift, which is the lift and weight that we're using to incorporate the muscle groups that she wants and getting stronger in those areas. And we're gonna pair this with another plyometric as well. So you guys will see what that looks like. But right now behind me, Haley is doing the single leg landmine RDL. Wait, is the blue light on? Is the blue light flashing? I've been here for a long time. I'm starting to get delusional. Psych. Okay, so last thing for Haley, for her workout, once again, focusing on strength and athleticism. This is one of my favorite athletic movements that incorporate both. It is a kettlebell swing, but we're gonna show you how to do the kettlebell swing to piggyback on what we've been working on today. So if you notice, that has been hip extension, which means straightening at the hips, but then also flexing at the hips. So that's how this kettlebell swing is gonna work. I'm not concerned about what happens on the upward swing. We're only gonna swing up as much as our hips and our glutes and our hip extension allows, and then we're gonna catch low, squeeze, catch low, squeeze, catch low. This is a little bit more taxing, but this is the last thing that Haley's doing today, and we're doing 3 sets of 8 for this, so go ahead. Be as violent as you can. Athleticism, athleticism. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And one thing that I'm gonna wanna show for you guys, because when we think about strength and we think about athleticism, we think about progressive overload, which is getting stronger in some capacity week by week. So that could be maybe you do 1 more rep the next week. Maybe you do 5 more pounds or 10 more pounds the next week. Maybe you add a set. There's a bunch of different ways to skin a cat, and there's a bunch of different ways to progressively overload. But the umbrella statement is just doing more, right? So with this, as Haley gets stronger and there's more of an intensity or emphasis, we want to make sure that we incorporate good movement patterns. So what I want Haley to change here is her eyes are going to follow the movement. So as I go down, my eyes are going to go down as well. As I come up, my eyes are going to come up as well. But the eyes follow the head. So if you notice, when I go down, I'm almost like looking in between my legs because my crown on my head is tipping. As I come up with the frame, now my eyes can go ahead and be straight. I just don't want this to be any type of extra tension where she's forcing her body to do something it doesn't want to do because her eyes are now looking forward as she goes down. I want the eyes to follow the movement, so we go here to here, here to here to here. So even though normally she would take about 45 seconds to 90-second rest, for the sake of this, which was probably around 90 seconds, 45 seconds to 90-second rest, we're just gonna do 5 for these just so you guys see what happens in the change. So make sure as you go down, take a look in between your legs, and as you come up, eyes will come up. Yes. Eyes up. Okay. That's what's supposed to happen. So this is supposed to be hard. So this is not something that you should be doing where you can wear makeup in the gym. You can go ahead and not look to sweat. This is one of those things where you're getting after it. Eyes. You see? Okay, so now what happens with the eyes is this is going more in between your legs. So you have to focus on catching more in the glute, because now you have to worry about that going down as well. Catch, squeeze, there it is. Give me 2 more. Last one. Not bad. That's it.
Why does it make it so much?
Okay, so now
Now it feels like I'm going.
Okay, because you're going with the movement. So when I go here for a split second, as I come here and I go high and I do this, my body doesn't allow this weight to go so far back anymore because my eyes are high. I'm like this. But as soon as I look down, you see I can swing a little bit further. So now it requires me to catch in my glutes a little bit more, which is the idea of flexion and extension anyways, which is my ability to be a part of the ground when I want to and apart from the ground. Apart of the ground, apart from the ground. Apart, like that's what I do. I want to be able to be elastic.
Yes.
I want to be able to flow when I want to and then be strong when I want to. Flow when I want to and be strong when I want to. This is strong, get it off me. Strong, get it off me. So being able to catch, being able to throw. Catch, throw, catch, throw. That's it. But that is the movement for Haley today. Hopefully we did well with what she wanted to work on, which was her strength and her athleticism. And then that is the meat and the potatoes of what we wanted to do. The accessories and the sides and whatnot is making sure that she looks the way that she wants to go ahead and look, and she feels the way she wants to feel. But meat and potatoes are strength and athleticism today. And that's it.